What's up, guys? It's your boy Live for Peace back at you again, another banger. Yes, guys, this week's video is basically gonna be like every other Sunday where I provide you guys with a weekly forecast of the trades that I'm looking at for the week, right? This week I'm gonna be adding another pair on the chart, which is AU, right? I'm not trying to add a bunch of pairs, just these four pairs right now: AU, US30, NZD, and also GU, right? So last week I was supposed to provide you guys with an AU setup, right? But I actually end up not providing you guys with it, and it ended up becoming my best trade of last week, right? So this week I said, you know what? Every setup that I'm looking at, I'm definitely gonna put it out there. All right. So I'm not gonna waste your time anymore. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's dive right into it. All right, so far on US30, we realized we had our trend right here. We had our trend right here, and price did what? Price broke our trend and retested and started dropping, right? So all we've been having is those continuous lower highs being formed, right? Here, 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 price pushing back into these supply levels, right? Because if you know how US30 works, US30 loves pushing back into supplies, right? So for me personally, right, I took a buy on the 1 hour, not the 1 hour, the 50-minute the other day, right? So let's see, right? And this was my first trade on US30 in a minute, right? So I realized where we were on US30. So let's go ahead and draw this zone right here, right? So if you look, price is 30300, right? That was the price that the market was actually trading at, right? That was the low right here. So what I realized was that the market broke this level, right? So usually after we have market breaking these levels, the market tends to come back, right? So when it came back, I missed the opportunity getting in on the pushback to the upside, right? But when price started coming again, I honestly thought that the market would definitely plunge, but it ended up turning. So what I was expecting now was, let me delete this. What I was expecting now was the market was failing to break above here. So all I was waiting for personally was a retest into 30700, somewhere around here, just to give me a retest, just for me to know that, okay, this retest was out of it. If the retest had happened, I would definitely look to continue, but it didn't happen. So I just have to take that trade out of my head for the week. But for this week, definitely I am looking at, we have a nice room right here. So if we don't get the retest back into here to give us that bounce to push up to here, I just have to assume that we're going to be trading between price 31316 and price 32669, right? Which is a good area for us to actually get a retest, because if you guys watch my previous videos, I was telling you that I was expecting a retest of this zone right here for us to get in on the retest for me to sell, right? So if we actually end up getting a retest back in here, right, all I'm going to be looking for this week is a potential buying opportunity, right? It's 1,269 pips, and it's possible. It's US30, right? So if I can get this trade this week, this will be really, really good. But if not, and price decides to go for the retest, I'll definitely try to take the sells. But right now, based on how the market is, like, I wouldn't say I wouldn't mind taking sells and stuff like that, but I think that because the market is plunging, a lot of the times, these indices will try to give us those spikes to the upside. You know what I mean? So when the upside moves come, I think that I personally gonna try to get into them. You know what I mean? But every time price hits a resistance, I'm definitely gonna try to make sure I look out for the selling opportunity, right? So looking at this right now on the 6 hour, I can say honestly on US30 that if the market decides to continue up for the 1,269 pips this week, I'm definitely gonna look to get in on these buys, right? Definitely, because if you look right here, for us, if we decide to trade back into here, it's no problem, right? And then again, we have a potential what? Potential market breaking this low, giving us this lower high, So what? We could expect even like a potential, fib move sitting around here. But the thing is, like, I'm not using Fibonacci a lot lately. I'm not really using Fibonacci a lot lately. I'm using pure structure. So, I mean, if the market decides to react at this fib level here, that's fine. But I would rather take my trade from here to sell to the downside, or even to buy from here to go up in here, right? So that's personally what I'm looking for, right? So, and it looks like a good area for market to push back into 32,800 zone right there, which is the same thing that I explained. So I think, looking for potential buys, it's possible on US30 this week. So definitely, I think my bias for this week is going to be buys unless price starts trading back under these levels, right? Simple. So let's go on the 4 hour to make sure everything is good. Just for now, just temporary buys, as I said. So yeah, let's go over to AU. All right, so on AU, the trade that I was supposed to put up was this one, right? So we had the market giving us what? A potential drop, price retest, price push down, and the market gave us this potential lower high, a new lower low, price went all the way back to give us a deep retest, and then it melted, right? When it melted, it decided to create some sort of support here. Price broke the support and gave us the retest, right? Because as I always tell you guys that, all right, if we want to get to point X, we have to start from point A, right? And we have to do B, C, D, E, F, G. So we don't want to eliminate stuff that hasn't happened yet, right? So when the market created this support and decided to break it, we had to expect price coming back. So I was actually watching this around earlier part in June, right? I was watching this. Why? Because this was a part of the journey to get to X, right? If you understand what I'm saying, right? This is a part of the journey to get to X. So what I'm saying is, if I get a retest here and price decides to push back down, which it did, now it gives me what? A potential. We have the lower low, we have the lower, we have this potential higher high, price giving us this higher low, price giving us this higher high, and then we had that massive candle that came here and break this structure. So if we're gonna be looking to take trades around here, all I said to myself is, if I'm gonna go based off structure, what is structure showing me? Structure is showing me that the market has broken what? This support level. So the only thing I could do was wait for price to come here, and I actually got a sniper entry right around here, right? If you guys follow me on Instagram or even in a Discord group, you'll definitely see that I got a sniper entry right here on AU, and all I did was I sold, right? Because even on this, we had a nice overextended M. This is the supply and demand level. Price came back, it created some sort of resistance. What did the market do next? It pushed into the level and gave us this engulfing candle. So even though I got this sniper entry, this engulfing candle kind of gave me the confirmation that, okay, we're going to the downside. And yes, I love trading on higher time frames because it definitely makes trading Forex pairs easier, right? And once the market broke here, the market had created like a neckline on this potential M pattern that we have here, and we had a retest, right? After having the retest, what did the market do? It pushed back down into this. I think, personally, I think that the market is gonna push back down to here, but it pushed back down into the close of the candles on June 14, right? Which was around 0.68700 area, right around there, right? So even though price reversed at a psychological level like that, you know what I mean? I still expect the market to drop, right? Because if you look, we had a very strong engulfing candle, bearish candle that melt, right? And then the market pushed down. So all I'm assuming is that this happening right now on the daily is actually the pullback that we actually need. These pullbacks were actually, to me, premature pullbacks on these time frames. Now we're on the daily. This is a potential chance for a retest into here for us to continue to the downside, right? So for now, my bias on AU is looking for sells around here, unless the market breaks above and decides to break above here, which is this level. If price decides to break above right about here, I'm definitely gonna look to go bullish this time. But if price still is trading underneath 0.69900 level, then definitely I'm gonna keep selling, right? So that's my bias on not US30, AU, right? Looking for sales unless price breaks 69900, right? Yeah, and it's kind of obvious, you know, if the market doesn't decide to give us this trade, then fine. Because if you look on the weekly, we have this level sitting down here that I think the market will get to. Probably. I'm looking at it, you know, I think the market could get down there. Trust me, I think it could get down there. Honestly, even if I adjust it a little bit around here, let's put it here at the close of these candles, I think the market could definitely get to price, you know, 0.6700 or, you know, something like that, 7,000, right? Something like that on the AU. So to be honest, I'm sticking with sales, and that's my honest bias. I'm sticking with sales, right? Definitely. No matter how it looks right now, I'm sticking with sales unless price breaks above, right? On GU now, the craziest thing on GU is that, you know, a lot of people are looking at the fact that GU actually end up hitting this monthly support zone, right? So after hitting the monthly support, price pushed back into the obvious supply and demand level. This is the retest level. Even though we created a resistance right around here and price broke here, you know, I'm still curious because getting to point X, this was a part of my journey getting to point X, if you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like if I expect the market to keep dropping, I was honestly looking at, I'm not the only one. A lot of people are looking at the fact that the market could have given us a potential retest around here, right? Which is around price 1.25 thousand, right? So I honestly thought we could have gotten a retest here, but we didn't, right? And I spoke about this level also last week, and we still didn't get a retest. All we had was this level right here, right? A retest into this level. So a lot of people are looking at this right now being somewhat of like, what should I say? They're looking at this right here. Let me show you. They're looking at this being a potential Fibonacci move sitting around here, right? Which would definitely push and break above. So what I'm gonna say is, if that move definitely plays out, then fine. But personally, I'm looking on what this consolidation area is gonna bring forth next week, right? Are we gonna get the break above? Because even if price decides to continue to the upside, if I don't get a break above here, I'm not going for buys. Honestly, if I don't get a break above here, I'm not looking for buys personally, right? Yes, it's good to look for buys, but if the market decides to buy, I'm just going to leave it alone, let it do its thing, and then I make a decision, because the market is obviously in a downtrend. So if I'm going to be trading against the trend, then, you know what I mean, I think the probability of it working out for me is kind of lower. So all I got to do is just to be patient and wait for a setup. Right now, we're ranging between price 1.23111 and also price 1.22000. So that's the level that we're actually consolidating between right now. So if we get these price levels to be broken, then we can decide, you know, a break or retest scenario, or we can just be patient, wait for a proper setup, and then we take our trade. But for now, the market is still in a downtrend, so I'm gonna still stick, you know, I'm still gonna be biased to the downside. I'm gonna be bearish, right? My bias is gonna be bearish, so that's about it, right? There's not much to look for in this. We just know that we're at this support and we have this resistance here and we have this retest level. So that's all we can be looking at for right now, right? Just be patient on GU. GU will give you pips, trust me. All right, so last but not least is NZDUSD. All right, so personally, you know, you guys knew I sold all of this, right? So after that happened, let me put this back. After that happened, I honestly was saying to myself, like, okay, we broke through this level and we had a premature retest on this level on the 4-hour. So obviously we needed a retest in here. Price came down, it pushed up, right? Once price pushed up, it pushed down, it pushed up, it pushed down. So once the market pushed down, my eyes personally, for it to be in a downtrend, right? The market is in a downtrend, right? So in my eyes, I was saying to myself, all right, instead of using a Fibonacci move like this, you know, saying that price retested here, because if you go on the 12-hour, well, the daily, you'll see that the candles actually close right around here, right? So if I go here, you can see it, definitely see it. Go here and pull this here, and you can definitely see that we had that 61% retest around here, right? So let's adjust this back for a second, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that usually whenever I'm using Fibonacci, right? Fibonacci works best for me when in the direction of the overall trend, right? Meaning that if the overall trend is, if the overall trend for the entire market is to the downside, usually when we get lower highs with new lower lows in the market pulling back, usually when it pulls back, it's creating, you know, a Fibonacci setup, swing high, swing low. We're going to be using that retest 61%, 78%, whatever, to sell from there to go to the downside. Usually that works well with me, right? So I like, what I'm trying to explain is I like using Fibonacci in trending markets, right? So for now, like personally, I am not looking on taking buys here, no matter how badly it looks, because if I go for that replay bar real quick, we were here, right? We were here. This was the resistance that we had, right? But the thing that I'm trying to explain to you guys is that the area that we need to get to be retested for us to say, yes, this is going to sell has to be here. Why? Because the market created support here and broke support. So it's basically just like AU, right? So after we got this right here, let's look at it. We had the market doing what? Creating what? Higher highs and higher lows going up. See, we had this, we had, say, let's use this right here. Then we had this, then we had that, then we had price breaking below here, failing to create a new high on this support, and now creating a new low here. So what do you think that I should be looking at if I am a trader, right? The evidence is there. It's a potential move to retest here. Or, right, the fact that this is something that I've been, you know, I traded sometimes where the market gives me the impulse here, right? So we have the impulse that breaks these zones. The market will give us like a very, very deep pullback. And when it gives that deep pullback, it goes like this, this, and this, and this until it pushes back up. Yes, that can work, right? That can definitely work. But for right now, I rather go for the sell just because the market is already in that downtrend. So I'm actually in a position right now that I'm holding over the weekend. If it decides to continue to go up, fine. I have to change my analysis. If price breaks above here, I have to change my analysis, right? But for now, I'm in a position here. If I take this replay bar off here, you guys can see, right? And this is still a potential move sitting around here. Still a potential move sitting around here. Still a very, 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 very good potential fib move that could be sitting around here to push back into here, right? So if I should use a Fibonacci, just the mere fact that this market gave us this new lower low right around here, in this scenario, this is why I'm going to say to myself, okay, there's a potential chance we could push to the downside. So as I said, I'm in this trade. I'm in the trade on the 2-hour. I think I took it on the 2-hour. Yeah, I took it on the 2-hour. So I'll see what happens when the market opens. So NZDUSD, GBPUSD, AUDUSD are all trades that I'm looking for sells this week, right? And if I should go over here, and look at US30 one more time. You know, I understand that I'm bullish on US30, but it's going to be up to the stocks when the market open, what I'm definitely going to be looking at, right? Because it's one thing to predict US30, but it's another when the market open and the stocks are not looking very bullish, right? So I'm going to leave this alone and just wait for the market on. But definitely these three pairs right here, we could definitely see sales taking place, right? Definitely. Right, but as I said, if the market decides to do different, I'm gonna be looking for buys above here on AU. Price breaks out, probably look for buys above here. NZDUSD, I'll look for buys above price right around here. Right, so I hope this video helps you guys a lot. Right, please like, share, and hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you.